that kind of, it sucks,
Imagine
but negativity does sell, right?
Yeah.
That negativity and that hate they have each other, like Khabib and Conor, it will sell, and that's why Dana is betting on it.
Yeah, but the thing is, bad blood is good for business.
Very good.
That's the saying in the UFC, bad blood, good for business. Khabib Conor hated, we don't even need, everyone knows about the story about that.
Dillashaw versus Garbrandt.
There you go, bad blood, good for business. Tito Ortiz
versus Chuck Liddell.
Yeah, Chuck Liddell, even Frank Shamrock. They absolutely went at each other in the press conference. Bad blood is good for business.
Jose Aldo versus Conor McGregor. That was the probably one of after Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell. That's probably one of the OGs.
Yeah,
right, because that was the real one that really topped the pay-per-view at the time. Bad blood does well. I mean, Jones versus Cormier. A lot of them have done very well. Even some of the female fights. Joanna versus Rose or Joanna versus Carolina. Like bad blood when they fucking hate each other.
Yeah.
Like that's it sells.
Not that, just that, but also in every sport in general. Like if you take in football, for example, whenever Real Madrid and Barcelona absolutely bloody hate each other, every time they fight, they call the match El Clasico, basically. It's like not even that, but it's also probably in sports, rivalries are the biggest sellers in the world. Like right in Australia, we have State of Origin, New South Wales versus Queensland, which is Maroons versus Blues, hate each other, absolutely hate each other. Then you got New York Yankees versus the Mets in baseball, hate each other. You know, it's even the same in every sport. Every sport has a rivalry where the two absolutely hate each other, and it's always those types of games that sell the most.
To be fair, rivalry is just another form of competition, and sometimes hate and anger brews. Like even in Western Australia, like in Perth, you've got West Coast Eagles and you got Freo. They come from the exact same state, but it's Dockers versus West Coast, and if there's a West Coast supporter, the Dockers supporter, or the Dockers or Fremantle Dockers, they will go, fuck you, fuck you, West Coast. Like, you support West Coast, fuck you. They're so close to each other, right? But that's what happens. It sells.
It sells. But here's the weird thing about AFL, though, that they're just very different to, English football.
For the American or people who don't live in Australia, we have footy or AFL, which is the Australian football, which is a bit different it's different to rugby and soccer and things like that. So continue.
Yeah, football.
Yeah, soccer.
Yeah, football.
You're in Australia, so you can call it soccer. If you go to Scotland, you go to England, you go to Ireland or something like that, you can say football.
It's football.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so point being, whenever you go, I've never been to it. Have you ever been to an AFL game?
I have.
I haven't. Well, one thing I know when you go to
No. I haven't. Sorry. Have I? I feel like I have. Well, it couldn't have been that memorable because I forgot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. But whenever you go to an AFL game or say a Australian soccer football game, you can place the opposition next to each other. You could be a Fremantle Dockers supporter and I could be a West Coast supporter and we can sit next to each other, right? In England, you can't do that.
Scotland.
You can't fucking do that. If you go,
Scotland's worse than England.
Really? Well, because when I went to England, when my dad used to take me to football watch my team West Ham United, what you have to do, you have to get the opposition in the corner of the stadium, and you have to have an absolute line of police blocking off those two parts.
You can drink at those games, though, right?
Yeah, you can.
Scotland, alcohol's banned.
Really?
You can't.
Really?
It is that bad because you've got Celtics. And you've got Rangers.
Ooh.
One of them's Catholic, one of them's Protestant.
Oh, is that why they hate each other?
It's religion. There's they both support Jesus Christ, right? But there's some difference. Can't remember why. Now it's not that notable that I would even know, since we all went to fucking religious schools and shit like that. But I don't even know why. But they have to be on one side of the other, or else they'll either beat the shit out of you, they'll shit in your shoe, they'll piss in your pint, they'll do all kinds of shit. They'll most likely beat the shit out of you, right? One side has to be Celtics, one side has to be Rangers, right? If you cross over, if you're one of those unlucky fucks that is like, it goes to the wrong side, you're getting beaten up. That's what's happening. In Scotland, probably not beaten up. Probably Glasgow kiss, aka headbutt, or a little stab.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Stabby.
Alcohol is banned from...
How long has it been banned for?
A long time.
I didn't know it was banned. When you go to England, like, basically what they do now is they started introducing breweries and bars into stadiums.
Yeah. We know here they don't sell full strength. They sell mid-strength.
They just sell mid-strength.
Right? Yeah. But in places like Scotland, banned completely.
If you have a few mid-strength pints, it's always that one dude who can't hold it in.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
but in Scotland, they try and eliminate that. No alcohol, no drunks, because, you know, a lot of them are on their last little thing, ready to throw down.
You're only allowed a max of like 4 beers as well.
Yeah.
A head per hour. So if you're in a group, basically only one person can go up at a time and get the 4 beers, basically, and 4 beers is the max. And they're always mid strengths as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like drinking games, like they go so well together because in England, basically, you're allowed public drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, like, it was always something they would do at the pub. You know, everyone would go down to the pub, watch a few beers, go to the game, a few beers, celebrate afterwards, a few beers. Christ, how many they would have. But I was so young at the time, but that's how it was, you know?
Yeah.
And that's how it was just such a part of it was such a massive part of the culture because there were literally some pubs that had their names after the stadiums. Mm-hmm. So... because that it was like right then, it was a perfect location, so it was good for business. So every weekend, if they were home or away, you were going to have plenty of people coming in and out.
I think it's a big part of the UK, experience as well. When you go to one of those games,
yeah,
you're drinking and you're eating.